And when they traveled by boat, here are some of the technologies that helped them. Remember, technology is something to help improve or to do something specific. Okay? So let's look at some of these technological advances. The Spanish explored the Americas in the time of adventure and discovery. In a time of adventure and discovery, a number of technologies advances helped make their adventures and Portugal's exploration possible. Si ustedes están poniendo atención, entiendes que muchos de los países que hablan español lo hablan porque los española vino para acá y ellos son las personas que estaban haciendo agarrando los países aquí. También Portugal agarró un gran parte en Brasil. Por eso ellos hablan portugués y no español. All right, the astrolabe. An astrolabe measures the position of the stars in the sky. It helps sailors determine a ship's latitude, or how far north or south of the equator they are. Europeans learned of the astrolabe from the Arab traders in the 1100s. We take advantage of the compass. We think we already know the compass, but here a compass was a magnetic arrow that points north so that the people can figure out in which direction they are going. The compass was invented in China and introduced to Europeans in the 1200s, probably by Arab sailors. 1200, that's 800 years ago the compass was invented, and it helped start this age of exploration. Here we have what's called the stern rudder, and those of you that did the quiz of the caveat know this rudder. Chinese sailors used an oar that hung off the stern or back of the boat to help control its direction. So if you look carefully, this is what they're talking about here. Oops, that's kind of big. Okay, that's the rudder. It helped him direct things from the back. This evolved into the stern-mounted rudder, which directed the flow of water passed over it to help steer a ship. By the 1400s, European shipbuilders had adapted and improved the stem-mounted rudder. Stern-mounted rudder. All right. Now the printing press was important. Around 1450, German inventor Johannes Gutenberg built Europeans' first printer press that used movable type to print the text. We wouldn't have these books without this. Printed materials could be mass-produced far more easily and cheaply than handwritten documents. They helped spread news about explorers' discoveries and encourage others to take to sea. So, mass-produced. The word mass-produced means that they did a lot. When we have our books, when we had the book Augie and Me and Wonders, they're mass-produced. Mass means a lot. In the olden days, a lot of the books were kept written by hand, and there was people who had to do all the writing and copying and everything. So books were very rare until the printing press came around. Johannes Gutenberg built it in around 1450. The Carack was a 3 or 4 mast sail ship developed in the Italian city of Genoa in the late 1400s. It was very strong and useful on long voyages. The Santa Maria and the ship of which Christopher Columbus sailed to the New World was a caraca. Okay, so the reason this was important was very strong on long voyages. So before they only had ships that could go short voyages. The sextant and chronometer. In 1759, John Bird invented the sextant. This tool used two mirrors and a movable arm to measure the angle of stars in the sky. Also invented in the middle of the 18th century, the chronometer is a device that helps keep accurate time at sea. Ooh. These two devices finally allowed sailors to determine longitude, or the distance east or west of the prime meridian. Measuring longitude as well as latitude made navigation, the movement of boats, and map making more accurate. All right, how does it work for time? I don't know. But the word chrono means chronological, which means something to do with time. Chrono.